I didn't know he's actually scored in every league, bro.
He went to Olympiacos as well.
He's like, fuck.
Sorry, he went to Mykonos.
That's a lot of leagues, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What a club slut.
Football stuff.
Wage thief.
Literally.
Welcome to a very special edition of Total Football Talk Show. I'll introduce the boys first. Najat and Ali, welcome. We're doing after hours now. We usually do Saturday mornings, but we're here. Very special edition. We got a very special guest, Bundesliga player as well.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate enough to actually sort of work with him at Olympic, but George Timotheou. How are you?
Thanks, guys.
All
All right. So we're just going to talk pretty much about George's career from MPL Canberra as well.
Yeah. Born and raised in Canberra.
Born and raised in Canberra in the capital.
Yeah.
How was it? The system in Canberra? Talk to us.
To be honest, very difficult to get out. It was it's not designed like the other states where you have obviously a feeder club. You have an A-League club to aspire to play for. So it was very, I guess, difficult to have those aspirations of looking up to, you know, A-League boys or women in that respect. I was always a Sydney FC fan growing up. That was the closest club to me.
Fuck,
so
I should have bought my Sydney FC jersey.
Yeah, you should have. But yeah, dad honestly took me and my brother to like a lot of the games. Obviously when the Socceroos occasionally came to Canberra, we used to go watch the games there, which was massive. But I guess the next closest thing for me back then to watch was like the AIS. So I was looking at, you know, boys, I guess a few years older than me, who I aspired to be like, and potentially thought that was a pathway that I would want to go down. And I guess that was more my aspiration because the AIS at the time was essentially like the feeder for the youth teams, the national teams.
I don't know why they stopped the
under 17.
You were part of it as well.
I was, yeah. So yeah, luckily enough, I worked my way up.
So you were young, like 13, 14 at the time?
Yeah, so the way it works in Canberra, or back then, there's obviously like your state teams. So we had like, they called it ACTAS, so it was the ACT Academy of Sport. So I had one of the best coaches in my career, Milan Milivanovic. Shout out to him. He was probably like one of the most influential coaches that I had. He actually molded me into a centre back. So I was still playing like as a holding midfielder back then. And yeah, funnily enough, we had an injury and straight back there. So
You thought he was
I thought you were a midfielder originally. Literally.
I still like, to be honest, like because I'm very good on the ball, like I'm very calm, like that is my style, like to play with the ball. So even now, like when I'm playing at Spartans, like we play a back three, but I step in a lot. I drive forward a lot with the ball. Obviously very good passing range. So I don't have the engine to be playing like a proper midfielder, but
I feel the same pain.
But yeah, that was essentially like my pathway. So just, I guess, playing like rep football, or I played for my local club for, 10 plus years. Dad was my coach, played with all my friends, and then eventually led to the ACT Academy of Sport, where I had Milo. And basically from there was just finding a consistent pathway and learning to play centre back. Yeah. Because jumping from midfield to centre back, like, not the biggest change, but it's still, you're now the last line of defense. You know what I mean?
Positional and everything.
I learned a lot of things. I was chucked into the deep end. I was playing against men at, I guess,
twice your size.
Well, and probably double my age as well. So, it was probably the best thing for me, and what I would recommend, like a lot of youngsters these days, is to get exposure, like playing against older people, bigger people as early as possible. Yeah. And then I played 2 really good tournaments. The Institute Challenge, and then I got picked up. I actually won Player of the Tournament in my second year, and then basically they're catapulted into the AIS, where I was for 2 years.
We need to bring back the AIS. I think that was the best thing that came out of Australia. That was the best system. That was a good structure as well. Great players have come out. There was Andy Burnell. He's a Canberra boy as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So I can't speak highly enough of the AIS. Like, it was my first, I guess, taste of what professional football is like. Yeah. because you're in there full time essentially with your brothers. Like they become your family. Like you see, like we literally saw the boys in my team more than I saw my family. Like we lived at that training base, right? Like, so we go there. We literally had like a bit bigger than this, like a room, but it was like our change room. Little passcode to get in. You have a fridge. You have your own separate locker. You obviously have a toilet, shower, all that. But like that was your designated space where you go before and after training. Like that was your little kind of hood thing.
Like game room.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But we had obviously the best training facilities, like arguably in all of Australia, like best grass pitches, synthetic pitches. What did we have? We had a recovery center, ice bars, like sauna, spa, all that kind of stuff. We had access to physios, nutritionists, psychologists.
So you could say it's Man City before.
Honestly,
the Man City of Australia.
Honestly, like the AS, like we say it all the time, like why they got rid of the program, but like the facilities there were like second to none. Like I can't believe that I got to experience that. Like I've experienced like the highs and the lows of, I guess, football and professionalism and like different cultures and I guess the facilities, like like gym programs. Like man,
How
the
long were
gym
you there for?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Was it like a Monday to Friday kind of process, or what, like how was the time schedule in that?
When I
at
was
that age,
when I
especially?
was first there, it was still because we played in the like youth league.
Yeah.
So we were playing against your Sydney FCs, your Brisbane
Yeah,
Royals, your Perth Glories. So I was in the last, I guess, model of we played Australia wide. So we were traveling every second week to different states, which was again your first taste of like what it's like as a professional. Travel, you stay overnight, like your preparation, you're away from home, like. It was
Was
just
there any like costs involved for you guys, for your family, or was it
no,
all
never. Everything
So
was
it was all
covered.
paid for?
Everything was covered from like the football.
Definitely bring it back.
Yeah,
That's why they got rid of it, because they don't want to pull.
there were massive costs, and like that's what I was going to lead to my next point was after that first year at AS, they disbanded the Australia-wide stuff, and they ended up doing like a conference. So they ended up putting us in the New South Wales comp. So we would only play against all the New South Wales.
Yeah, so it's
teams,
less travel
right?
in a sense.
There's no travel. We didn't fly.
Yeah.
We just drove. It was either a bus, and then you split off, and then eventually you finish first. You play grand final against, the other conference winners. Which we were lucky enough. I didn't do that while I was at the AAS, but I was lucky enough when I was at Sydney FC in the youth. We played in 2 like successive grand finals, and we won the first one against Adelaide, and then lost to Melbourne City in the second. So.
Who was in your Sydney FC team, the youth team?
Oh, everyone, man. We had a stacked team. We had like Maxi Burgess, Nicola Koleski.
Cookie, yeah.
What a name.
Wow.
We had Cookie. We had Daniel Arajo. We had Chris Zuvella. We had a lot of like first team boys drop down, like Aaron Calver, Zach Anderson.
So that was still going on, the first team guys dropping down?
Yeah, there were like Alex Mullen. Like we had a lot of boys dropping down. Obviously, the A-League team that year was like absolutely stacked. So what better way to give them some exposure and drop them down? But yeah, we had stacked teams both years. So
even Maxi Burgess.
Yeah.
I reckon even with now that's the way Sydney FC have treated him the last year, he should have stayed there. I reckon they should have kept him.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
Yeah.
You played with him at Olympic.
Yeah, I've played with him for a number of years. Like ever since I joined Sydney FC, Maxi was then the youth team with me. We, I guess, grew up together in that sense, and he broke into the first team and obviously went and did his little stuff overseas. But yeah, he's a fantastic player. And like that year at Olympic, that 2018 season when we were
I remember that.
Not the Invincibles, but we were
It was
almost untouchable. Like we had
Alex
a very
Sanchez.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you guys know Alex Sanchez.
No, no.
Gun striker. He came from Spain.
Yeah, Spanish striker.
One. He didn't have a hand.
Oh, really? So he was handless pretty much.
Wow.
He had one hand, but it was the left or the right.
the
Like
left.
he didn't have a hand.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
no,
think
it was
he
the right.
top goal scorer.
Yeah, top goal scorer. Yeah.
Killed
This
it.
guy played La Liga. Like played for Real
Oh, wow.
Zaragoza. Like
Yeah.
he was a machine, man. Like honestly, nicest guy too. Like top bloke.
I was
like,
there.
Top professional too.
Professional.
Like
I was there.
even though it was like MPL 1, man, doesn't matter. That guy was like he was locked in. He was top pro.
I was there at a Leichhardt Oval when they won it. They beat Apia. And Sanchez
their
scored
home.
literally Sanchez scored from like the
crazy
the
angle.
corner, like literally the corner of the post, and he just curled like he went in. I'm like, wow. But yeah, What do you guys?
How'd you get to Schalke? Like
What was the transition?
how
'Cause you're from
how
RAS.
did you get a call up to go?
Well,
there?
that was the season. Like that
Yeah.
was the season that I left. So I actually didn't get to watch the boys win the grand finals. I was already over there.
Yeah.
But
Did you get a call or?
so yeah, the boys were FaceTiming me and could you pav? they were holding the trophy. And
I
yeah, it
remember that. I
was-
saw
man,
Instagram stories,
oh,
bro.
man,
They're putting
that was-
alcohol in the trophy.
trophy. Like James Timotheou, like that guy was so funny, man. He was like doing shoeies. He was drinking out of the cup.
He went to
like-
Swansea, James. James.
Oh,
Neal.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a good bloke.
Yeah.
But the story behind that. So I was at Olympic the year before. So I left Sydney FC, went to Olympic, and obviously searched for more consistent first team football.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna stay at Sydney FC and just, I joke around, right? I say like, if players stay at clubs where they're not playing, there's no development. I just say, oh, you're a wage thief. Like my dad
Yeah.
jokes around it. We say like, you're a wage thief because like, okay, I'm not saying like you have to go get a 9 to 5 and do
Yeah,
this, but like
yeah.
if you're not doing anything with purpose, like essentially there's another kid waiting or another player where the money can
100%.
get shared
Yeah.
to,
And
right?
to example that is like the goalkeepers in normal Premier League football who are like 35
Who
years
was it,
old,
bro? The Man City goalkeeper, bro. He hasn't
Carson.
played a
Scott
game,
Carson.
bro. And
Yeah.
he's won like 4 Premier League.
He
Yeah,
just
this
sits
guy's
there.
on a million a year. Like this is insane. Yeah, but like me and Dad used to joke about it, but like I didn't want to waste another year
Sitting on the bench.
sitting on like or not even on the bench.
Yeah.
Like because at that time at Sydney FC, you have to remember like we had Pekovic, we had Matty Yerman, we had
Yeah, the
Geordie
big
Boyce, we
players,
had
yeah.
Wilco, we had like man some of the best centre backs this country has ever seen, right? And again, like I had the offer from Celtic the year before, and I chose not to take it
Yeah.
because of work permits and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just like I took the safer option, signed with Sydney in hope that, okay, maybe, you know, because
Bigger break, a
because
bigger
it's,
break.
because essentially the reason, like not many people know this, but the only reason why Tom Rogic got the deal over the line
Yeah.
is because he was already a Socceroo.
Ah, okay.
They would give him they gave him the work permit
Yeah.
straight away because he was a current
Yeah.
And you
international.
were not even
I
international.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I was only a youth international. I wasn't under 20. But that helped me in getting the contract and a contract signed. Like I've got, people don't believe me, but
Yeah.
I have the letter from Brendan Rodgers. Like,
Yeah.
It was Brendan
Brendan Rodgers was
Brendan
the
was at the
coach then.
time.
So it's just like, in hindsight, everything happens for a reason.
100%.
I chose not to do that. I stayed at Sydney. Okay, Sydney didn't work out. Arnie basically sat me down and just said, look, you're 5th choice centre back for next season. I don't know what you want to do. We'll pay you out 3 months and like you can go and do. I know you like Andy had, you know, some stuff overseas, other clubs interested, whatever. I was like, you know what? And I respected him for like having the conversation with me because he could have just like
Kept you there.
kept me there and like been a wage thief,
Wage
and
thief.
whatever. But no, but like
He was honest.
he was honest,
was
but at the
straight,
same time, I think Arnie had something against me. I don't know why. I'll never know to this day. But like I was the best performing player in that youth team. We got promoted from MPL2 to MPL1 in the first season.
You were
Yeah.
like 20?
And like,
Were you 20?
Yeah.
20?
No, I was younger. I was like 18.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second season, we're playing MPL1 against like
Giants and all
the
these.
best clubs, and we were like bopping them. We just didn't get the results. We were inexperienced. We didn't know how to grind out a game or whatever. We're still young. We want to play our football. When sometimes you can't really play football, you have to basically go to war.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand that.
Yeah.
So it was a good learning curve. But yeah, that's, I guess, the part where it didn't sit right with me because like Arnie never gave me a chance in the first team.
Yeah.
Friendlies and
Yeah.
Not even friendly?
Not really, no.
How old were the other guys, the other centre backs? Were they around your age or were they older?
Nah, much older. The next
The
youngest
first team, you mean?
No, so he said he was fifth choice
choice.
centre back.
Yeah,
And the
so
other 4
that's
centre backs.
yeah, they're all 30s, mid 30s.
Yeah. So they're like, you could say they were experienced.
They were the seasoned veterans.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to play in front of them, but when 4 of them or 3 of them are injured, okay, chuck me in for a game.
Yeah.
Chuck me in for a cup game. Chuck me in for this.
Well, he didn't even give you a chance
He
to go for
never
like
gave me
last
a
5
chance.
minutes or something
Man,
at least.
I sat on the bench not that many times, but I didn't even, not even for 10 seconds.
So was it you were in the A League?
And I
Training
never
with-
made my
training with
debut.
the first
He was
team?
part of the squad.
Yeah.
But did they drop
2,
you
3
into
years.
MPL to play games?
Yeah.
Right. So, fucking hell,
Yeah.
man.
But
That's
like,
fucked.
but like, I was doing so well in the MPL
Yeah.
that I deserved to get And I watched all the boys around me in my MPL team get chances.
Yeah.
Maxi, Cookie, whoever it was.
Yeah.
So he
Okay,
worked
different
hard, proved
positions.
himself, but it wasn't like reciprocated. It
No,
wasn't like, yeah.
No, and that's why I said like Arnie had something
Against you.
against me because he was like, what more do I have to do?
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to be scoring hat tricks every
Just
week
straight out.
from centre back? Like, I swear he still
Hat-trick,
wouldn't.
no goals.
Hey, I swear he still wouldn't have played me.
Behind the
That's
post.
weird,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like I said, at the end of the day, you know, we keep saying everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I took the step back in MPL. I had a lot of different offers. Obviously, I was, I guess, hot property because you come out of an A-League environment, even to this day. Like now it happens if you come out of an A-League academy, like these MPL 1 clubs, like they'll snap you up.
100%.
And I had a few different offers, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? It's not about the money. Like I was getting stupid money thrown at me at 18, which can be like, oh,
Yeah.
go there, cash,
How old
whatever.
are you now?
Now?
How age, bro?
27.
27. So 10 years
Is
ago.
that
Yeah,
age, bro?
basically.
Yeah, but for the views, obviously. 10 years ago, where money like that was,
Yeah.
value, it was
Yeah.
different.
Well, like even to put in perspective, like Bonnyrigg were a massive club back then. Back then, they,
Bro,
offered
they
me,
had a really
they were
good
offering
team.
me $800 cash a week.
Bonnyrigg,
Wow.
if for the viewers that don't know
That's 10
Bonnyrigg
years
squad,
ago.
yeah, for the
Wow.
viewers that don't know Bonnyrigg squad from like let's say 2010, 2011, 2012, they won premiership after premiership. Like they were
Yeah.
a gun team.
Yeah.
Really,
and
Robbie Eunice as well.
Yeah, me growing up, I guess, and dabbling like first in MPL, like they were the club. Like
That you
every
wanted
grand final, like man, they were stacked.
Yeah.
And yeah, for them to give me the offer, and like they were even like just a small thing, like we'll give you like your favorite number, like number 4.
Yeah.
Like we've already printed it, and like they were trying to like get the deal over the line, and I'm like wanting to buy, and
We'll
I'm
buy
like,
you a house.
Imagine. I think that would have done it. It would've
Oh
bought your
man,
house.
I don't know. And they're
Get your
like-
house in
they're like,
Ballymena.
they're like every Thursday there'll be a white envelope and like with your cash, and I'm like, oh shit, like.
A plate of chavapi.
Man, it was honestly tempting, but I was just like, look, money comes later. Like this is about football development. I wanted, I guess, a bit of a project, and they were more so on the decline then. And I basically got the call from Olympic, and like having Greek heritage, I was like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like go to a good club, play my football, good coach, and I bought in, and you know, I loved every minute when I was there back in the day, and it's the funny story, like how everything started, I guess, with Schalke and with this story was I signed in the transfer window mid-season. They didn't register me in time to play that week against Wollongong. We're playing at Wynn Stadium away.
Okay.
They didn't register me in time,
Yeah.
announced everything, whatever I'd signed, was already training that week. I wasn't going to start, but I was going to play.
Like, yeah.
Didn't register. They're like, what do I do? Okay, I'll just play 20s. They're like,
Yeah.
do you want to play 20s? I said, yeah. I just want to play.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I played with the 20s. Scored an absolute bomb, by the way. Left foot, edge of the box, half volley. Played a really good game. Was obviously cruising, like very easy. Won comfortably. Watched the first team. But I didn't realize at the time the under-20s coach was Karim. And Karim was the guy that had the links to Schalke.
No.
He was taking over, you know, the under-20s, but he was doing all the youth at the time.
Yeah.
He comes up to me after the game and he goes, you have something. Like, I was like, what do I have? Like, tell me, please.
Not $800.
And he goes, you work with me
Mm.
and I'll help take you overseas.
Mm.
I'm like, the fuck is this guy talking
Going
about?
on something,
This guy, like,
Who the hell is Karim?
I said, you've seen me play one game, like in under 20s. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And like, I think it's only now that I've become, I guess, a coach of
To
youth
realise.
players that I've realized like you only need a session
Yeah.
or a game
Yeah.
to see something.
We know that for the 18s.
Right? That's all you need.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I brushed it off. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like, you know, this German guy, like, what does he think this is? Like, what's going on?
He says you got something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
so-
got nothing,
so I
bro.
got something. I said, my pockets are empty. Like, I got nothing. But yeah, he obviously took a big liking to me. And honestly, from that day forward, like Karim took me under his wing, and Howard speaking about coaches that I attribute to my success, like Karim has to be up there with one of the most influential, because for the next year and a half, he trained me one-on-one for $0.
Wow.
every single chance possible
Wow.
before training.
$0 as well.
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Zero. Never got paid.
Wow.
Right? Just because he's like, I want to give this kid an opportunity that I didn't have at his age. Because he grew up, you know, in like a rough household, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he just saw a bit of himself in me.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I can help this kid make a career,
Yeah.
not that he was about the money, but he's like, I'll enjoy later.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy more of him playing and making his debut and playing whatever
in
it
his
was.
mind, he was like, I helped you out.
That's
to get
right.
there.
Because he can turn around and be like, wow, like, you know.
That's my boy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
That's my dream.
Seriously.
I wouldn't say I made him, but like I got him to where
I
he
molded
is.
him,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
essentially. So, like, honestly, he was like another dad to me, an older brother. Like, whenever I needed him, we'd talk on the phone for hours. He'd send me like my analysis after games. He'd like be there. He was there every step of the way for the next year and a half. And like I said, rain, hail or shine, we were doing extras.
Yeah.
And it was just insane the amount of work ethic like he put in. And like now I look at it and I'm like, man, like I'm running an academy, but it's just like I get paid to do it.
Yeah.
Every day I show up, I get paid. He didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, he was getting paid by Olympic and whatever and all that. Like
But
it was a
still
project.
putting the
Money was an
extra-
object
yeah.
for him. That's
it
fine.
was a project and it wasn't like we always talked about Schalke, right? So they had the link.
Yeah.
And we talked about Schalke, but it wasn't until probably 6 weeks before I actually left for Germany that I knew I was going to Schalke. I knew that in the July transfer window I was going overseas, but I didn't know where I was going.
Wow.
So it was still like up in the air. I remember having coffee with Karim and another guy at the time and just being like just sitting there like eating Vegemite toast. Like, okay, where am I going? Like, you know, I'm leaving in like a month. Like what's seriously like
You had no clue what was
no
going
clue.
on.
All
Wow.
I knew was I was going to Europe.
Yeah.
That's it. One-way ticket to Europe.
One way. Wow.
Right? And it's funny that at Schalke at the time in the under-23s, the centre back, who was the captain and the oldest player, actually got injured.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we have an opportunity here. Let's get George over in preseason, 2-week trial.
And
Let's
like,
see what he's got.
Yeah.
And obviously it helped having a connection. Like,
Of course.
but I think what people don't realize is when you're over there, it's very easy to get a trial because a club can bring in a player who's had a decent resume or career or whatever.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, one day they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there in Schalke. I saw the highest turnover of trialists ever in my life. Like
Wow.
like a guy would come and they'd kick him out in the same session. They wouldn't even let him finish.
It's like he walks in and he just goes, "Hey,
Yeah.
can I have a trial?"
Wow.
No, not like that, but like, but kind of like, but kind of like, I know the technical director's dog's father's son or something. You know what I mean? Like something stupid like that, like some connection, and like he'll be so bad, and the coach was like,
Fuck him
get
off.
him out,
Get him out of here, bro.
like, you know. But
Is Karim still there?
I still
there.
speak to him today.
Wow.
Yeah, I still speak to him today. So he's very, very big, like in the youth there now. So him and another guy, Sammy, who also I have to like pay massive thanks to, because he took me under his wing while I was over there. Like, let me stay in his house for a bit, like with his family, opened me into his home, and it was just like, it's just incredible that like I guess Germans get this. There's this perception like they're very cold and everything, but
Yeah,
like
they're arrogant.
they're which is true
Yeah.
to a certain extent, but at the same time, like they're also very loving. They're very family oriented,
Yeah.
and these guys took me under their wing. Like I said, $0.
Yeah.
They didn't benefit anything from it, other than they're just very good people, you know, with good hearts and good upbringing. So yeah, it was an interesting ride to go to Germany because, again, not many people know, but a month before I left, I snapped my ankle.
Oh wow.
So we were training at Peter Moore,
Of course,
Doing-
Peter Moore.
doing some stupid rondo drill. And you guys, or whoever the viewers that know Peter Moore, is like, it's one of the worst pitches. There's holes everywhere.
Potholes.
I know Peter Moore, man.
Anyway, doing this stupid rondo, I've gone to just play the most simple pass. I've done it 1,000 times, a million times in my career. My right foot scoring a pothole, snap.
Fuck.
Henry Council.
I literally,
worst.
it happened so quickly,
Yeah.
but obviously I heard like crunch and
Yeah,
snap.
you knew
Yeah.
that something was
And I'm
up.
like, I was like, who kicked me? I looked, I was like, someone kicked me. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I just done? Bro, my leg blew up straight away.
Oh.
So I ended up going to hospital that night, getting scans. So I basically ruptured a lot of ligaments.
On the
And
ankle.
I basically broke my ankle because it's
Yeah.
called syndesmosis. So it's basically like when you break, like there's like a little bone just between like your fibula and your ankle. And oh man, moon boot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm ringing Kareem, like, and like it was disaster. It's
It's the worst thing that can happen.
4 or 5 weeks before I've gone to Germany.
Yeah.
And I was planning on like starting to like maybe
Slow
stop
down.
playing,
Yeah, slow down.
like not to get injured and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
What
that.
you do.
Yeah, I
Right? And
didn't get there.
I've gone and done that. And like I at that moment, that night, like I remember I like took a photo. Like my wife came and got me sitting in the car in the passenger seat with a moon Buddha on crutches near my side. Take a photo, send it to Kareem, and like that was like sliding doors. I was like not my career's over, but I'm like
My chances.
There's a delay.
the last
Oh, yeah.
the last year and a half, I've been working for this moment,
Yeah.
like for this.
Worst feeling.
The worst, the most sinking feeling ever. And it lasted for a few hours, but I don't know how and where it came from. But Kareem was the one that lifted me up. He said, tomorrow morning, we'll go and fix it. I'm like, we can fix it. I said, we're going to chop my leg
Magic
off.
wand.
Get me
A new one.
You got a new ankle like that? Or
I love this Kareem guy. I've never met the bloke, but I'm loving him already.
And I think it was super hard for him because he was like, I have to be strong for George, even though I later on found out like he was stressed hard, like he was crying, like you know, like he was like shattered, like because he's like, man, if this kid loses the opportunity, like of course just to a stupid pitch, like because he was on the pitch with me at the time when it happened.
Wow.
Like he saw everything happen, and like he was the one that took me to hospital before my wife come.
Oh, wow.
You know, anyway, I sent him the photo later, like after I got scans, everything was confirmed. Tomorrow we'll go fix it. Fix it. Literally, like you said, magic wand, like do some charms.
Harry Potter stuff.
And man, I smashed rehab for the next few weeks, every single day. I'm talking like triple treatments every day. I was doing shockwave therapy, I was doing cryo, I was doing this light, everything, anything imaginable, like I was doing it.
Wow.
And I don't know how, but after 3 weeks,
Yeah.
like we're talking like I should have been out for
6
what?
to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And Corolla is 6
Yeah.
to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's
the way
crazy,
you
man.
described it with the break, you're like
That,
8
but they
weeks.
were telling
Yeah.
me
8 to 12
they were
weeks.
they were talking 3 months.
Yeah, 8 to 12
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 weeks,
It ended
I
up-
had to test it.
Yeah.
I was smashing rehab, obviously weight bearing, getting more. I was putting like the magnet things, the electro, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Strap my ankle, went to Concord, went with Kareem, started running. Hurt, bad,
Yeah.
but I knew I'm getting on a plane in 10 days.
Yeah.
I have to test it. I don't, and as well, I've not trained for 3 weeks. I need
You
to
just
stay
did
fit.
rehab. Yeah.
I'm going to Europe. I'm not going Banana League, Farmers League,
Yeah.
right? So I tested it. It killed. We ended up going to Germany a week early just to like kind of acclimatize, whatever, go there. And the hardest thing for me was when I went over there, Kareem goes to me the day before I was supposed to report like to the training facilities. He brings me aside, he goes, George, like, you don't tell them that you have an injury.
That's true. Yeah.
You don't go and ask, and you don't, like, because they'll ask you and you do your medical screening. What was your last injury? What was this? What was that? You need strapping. He goes, trust me, don't tell them anything.
Yeah. It's a
So
true
I go
thing.
there, and I've literally been strapping my ankle for the last 2 weeks, basically. Like, and I'm still having pain. Didn't tell them a thing.
No.
My first session, I don't know how, I just got through it. Never strapped my ankle again.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's
I
like,
think it was a blessing in disguise. Man. Like,
I don't know if it's
such a blessing.
placebo or I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
God was with me, man, because somehow I got myself from like basically supposed to be out for 3 months,
Yeah.
and I was training in Schalke. Like I got on a plane and I started my European adventure. So yeah, that's the story of
Wow.
getting to
Getting
Germany.
there. Wow.
How was it? Like you were at the AIS. Obviously, it was a different environment there. You went to the A League, a different environment between Sydney and wherever it was played. And now you've gone to Schalke, training facilities, the coaches.
Yeah.
How was it? The transition, the
games,
difference,
the
like difference
physicality.
of facilities.
The facility
Yeah.
difference was massive because I had come in the year after they had just had so much success.
Yeah.
So they were like, I think they went quite far in like the DFB Pokal, which is the German Cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had come second in the league.
Mm.
So they qualified for Champions League. So I'm going into a club that is at like the highest of highs.
Mm.
Like basically, essentially won the league a year before, nearly won a
Yeah.
cup, silverware, and now they're in Champions League. So it's like they did all these renovation to the training facility.
Yeah.
They've done the renovation to the stadium, like because Velton's Arena, if you guys know Velton's Arena,
I've
like
seen it.
it is one of the craziest, most amazing atmospheres ever. And like I didn't even realize, but at the time, like, okay, this story's for a bit later, but it's like the home pitch, right? It moved. So the grass
Yeah.
moves out of the stadium to get direct sunlight.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when it's
See what you mean.
when you're in the winter, they close the top.
Wow. That's how they keep the
Wow.
pitch intact. You were
And I
gonna
was going
say
to ask a
something,
question
yeah.
about them because with the stadiums, the fields compared to grassroots,
Grassroots.
all right, and just in general in NPL are not the same size than how in Europe is.
Mm.
Like, is it like as big as they say it is? It's
Yeah.
like it's really, really
Yeah,
massive.
it's massive, yeah.
And the fact that there's so much space,
Yeah.
people don't realize.
Yeah. And I think that's funny you mentioned that because when I went over there, I was not used to like playing on such big pitches.
Yeah.
Like you get a couple here and there in Australia,
Yeah.
but not to the dimensions that it's like over there. And it's like obviously there's certain rules and regulations to
Yeah, 100%.
you know what the pitch sizes have to be like. But over there, I swear was like they were pushing the borders like man as far as possible. Like
Straight out.
the pitch is here, the gate's there. I'm like what? Like man,
Yeah.
that's close. And
It makes a big difference. Like I play centre back, and usually a centre back's like you look, oh yeah, the centre back's right there. Like
Yeah.
you can almost touch hands,
yeah,
and you can almost touch hands with your fullback, and they're on the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Then you go to these big pitches, and it's like, where's my centre back?
yeah.
All the way on the
Hey,
other
bro.
side.
Yeah, no, it's
Get a
very
walkie-talkie.
fun.
Walkie-talkie.
Like, no, but honestly, when I went, I was with under 23s, and our main pitch where we played was massive, and it took a while to like get used to it. Like obviously the physicality and fitness side,
Yeah.
because like you're probably running. I don't know what the kilometers extra you're running per game
Yeah.
or whatever, but
It's
like
longer.
it would
It's
be
longer.
it would be decent. Like
Yeah.
even for centre backs, like we get up to halfway, we shift
Yeah.
across,
Yeah.
whatever, we
They're
drop
fine,
back.
yeah.
But it's funny you mention that because people ask like, what did the coaches see in you that was different, you know? And it's like, well, a typical German centre back, they didn't have the passing range that I had. So we go over there on a bigger pitch, and my specialty is my diagonal pass, right?
I've
So
seen
I
it.
was
I've seen it
able,
live.
I was able to basically assist goals.
Yeah.
Like my first game after 3 days in Germany, I got 2 assists and scored.
Wow.
2 balls, pick it up,
ball,
diag,
yeah.
in behind, touch, goal.
Yeah.
But then in Australia, like I'll do that and they won't finish it. My ball will get there, but they don't finish. They don't know what to do, or they
quality
miss
difference.
like the touch is different or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like it was funny. Like after those 3 days,
Mm.
the general manager goes to Karim. And yeah, we want to sign him. It was a 2-week trial.
Wow.
After 3 days, yeah, we want to sign him.
Far
How'd
out.
you feel?
And it's funny because in that game as well, they played me as 6.
Wow.
So I
Oh,
played.
wow.
So I played first half
wow.
as 6,
Yeah.
and then
just-
second half I dropped into centre back.
Wow.
'Cause
In
they're like,
pain.
Hey,
In pain.
yeah.
In pain.
Oh, so
In
how
pain.
long was that until you signed? Like, how was the moment they said, yeah, let's sign the kid? Like you made your debut for against Stuttgart?
Yeah,
What round was that?
that was the last round of the season. So this
It was
was
like your
so
debut,
you
yeah.
basically fast forward 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from day of landing in Germany, basically, I was there, like I said, a week early. So I trained with
Yeah.
Karim, did
Yeah.
my stuff, went to the training facilities. We do like our testing.
Yeah.
So you do all your fitness testing, you check your height, you do all that. First day of training, you basically go and run, gym. Next day, run, gym. Third day, training, game.
Yeah.
After that game on the third day, yeah, we want to sign you.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
2 days later, we had to training camp in Billerbeck, which was like just like a small town.
Mm.
And they go, oh, we're going to ride our bikes there. The fuck are these guys on about, ride our bikes? I said, how far is it? And like, oh, it's like 50 Ks. We literally got on push bikes,
Oh no.
went on the Autobahn. If you guys know
Yeah, I
what
know
the
what
Autobahn
Autobahn
is.
is, yes.
This guy's flying 200 Ks an hour. Our bus is, so it's obviously opposite driving in Europe. The bus is alongside us and we're just on to protect us.
Oh wow.
We're just on our push bikes like this.
Wow.
Going to
How long
Bilbao.
did it take?
A long time, a few hours.
50 Ks,
Half a
bro.
day. I don't even remember. It was all a blur. We get back to the hotel, or we get to the hotel, have lunch, little sleep, training afternoon. Like no rest.
Yeah.
Bro, those 10 days in Bilbao was absolute death.
Fuck.
That was
Wake up,
pre-season, wasn't it? Oh, it was,
Wake up, like 5 a.m., 5K run. Weigh in, breakfast, train, lunch, train again. 10 days like that. And you chuck in a few games against like teams in that.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was like for me, like, I'm so far behind these boys. These guys are machines, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny, there was a comment from our coach to Karim and goes, George can't talk. Like, he's dead. Like, he looks dead. He was white as a ghost. And then 6 months later, when I came back for the second part of pre-season, mini pre-season, because in Germany or in Europe, it gets too cold. So you have to stop playing.
Yeah.
So I basically at Christmas time, so from July to Christmas in Germany, Christmas time I come back 10 days, whatever, come back, see family, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
go back.
It's like a 2-week period off. Yeah.
We go back, we did all the same stuff, same testing, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
The coaches go to Karim, what happened to George? Man, I was in the gym, talking, laughing, carrying on. And they're like, look at the difference of 6 months.
Yeah.
Like we joke about it, but it's just like my body and everything evolved in those 6 months. That like it was the craziest change.
You're speaking to people now and you're getting
but
comfortable.
like the gym sessions over there are insane. So much power and like it's not like I just go there and do a couple things of bench. Like man, we called it stabby. So we used to do like a lot of core work. So like heaps of abs, man. Oh my god! After every training, but we'd get individualized programs. So for me as a centre back who they wanted to increase his explosivity and speed, I had my own program.
Yeah.
So I was doing my own program after the end of every training or before training or whatever on my days off, stuff like that. So it was like so individualized.
Was
and
it the
like,
same as the other centre backs or different programs for them?
Different.
Okay.
Everything was
So
different.
they adjusted to each player's
Everything was
whatever they
different.
need to increase.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Some players needed to put muscle on, some players need to lose, some players need to, get agility, not speed. Like some players were really explosive but had no football brain. Yeah. So they need to work with psychologists, for example. Like, man, it was...
Wow.
That's
It
crazy.
was
You've seen
insane.
changes, like, I don't know if you guys seen the picture of Goretzka.
Yeah,
Where he went
Goretzka's
from like one
changed,
season to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next.
And
I
he
don't
came
know
from
what
Celtic
Bayern
too.
does there,
breed,
bro.
like just a
Man.
different
Bayern
breed.
is a different breed as well.
Look,
Yeah.
I can't speak of like obviously what Bayern's like because that's a different monster entirely.
Yeah.
Schalke was a powerhouse.
Still are, but all
They
right, they're
still-
relegated, but
they
the
still
name,
are.
the name
They
is
still
there.
are, but they still hold the name. But
Yeah.
to be honest, when I was there, like I transformed my body. Like I was quite lean when I went to Germany, obviously because Karim was like, we've got to go over there and be like good perception, good, like in a good way. But the way my body transformed in those 6 months, even the 9 months before I made my debut, was incredible because they basically handpicked me and go. For example, they didn't let me train with the first team until I increased my 30-meter sprint time.
Wow.
Because they said, if you're going to go and play in Bundesliga and mark, who did I mark on my Bundesliga debut? Alexander Esfine, one of the fastest players in the
That's
league.
fine.
Right? Alexander
yeah.
Esfine. So it's like, if you're going to mark him, you have to be at least this.
Yeah.
No.
Because otherwise you look like a
slow.
snail,
Yeah.
basically. So,
On a pitch that size too.
yeah, exactly.
You're never going to catch
Exactly.
him.
And, going there and they're doing this testing, meticulous agility, 10-meter, 20-meter, 30-meter sprints. And like I was falling, like I remember I did one and it was like 0.02 seconds off. And they're like, yeah, still not. Gotta get under.
Wow.
So I have to wait another 3 months till we test
Oh
it again.
my god! So
Yeah.
testing was every 3 months.
Every 3 months,
So you get
meticulous,
one
man.
chance.
Yeah.
Fuck,
So how many chances was that the second time and then you got the opportunity, or
It was the first time I didn't do it, and then it wasn't until like the second time or something,
Yeah.
or
6
maybe we
months.
did one in between. I can't remember exactly, but it was there was spaced out. It wasn't like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But obviously they were trying to fast track it because they had plans for me to go and train with the first team. But
And then they had the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Like, they had Champions League cups.
Yeah.
The league. They just come off, like I said, second. So they wanted to actually compete.
I think they wanted to build the squad because obviously, like you said, they're playing Champions League. Like we didn't have, like, okay, look at the group. We had Galatasaray, we had Manchester City, and we had
Madrid.
No, we had a team from Russia,
Oh, Zenit.
CSK Moscow.
CSK and Moscow. Yeah,
Oh,
and like massive clubs, man.
yeah.
Big clubs.
Massive clubs,
Yeah.
right? This guy's wearing Besiktas jersey.
I'm a Galatasaray fan.
There you go. But yeah, even that, man, that like when you guys talk about culture,
Yeah.
Galatasaray,
Yeah, we-
Schalke game was one of the fucking craziest atmospheres I've ever witnessed in
I know the
football.
feeling.
Ever witnessed, right? In the town I was living in, Gelsenkirchen, a lot of Turkish immigrants, right?
Yeah.
It was a lower socioeconomic area, old mining town, like just very poor, very poor place to live. I think it got voted like some of the worst city in Germany like that year that I was there or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but the people in the pub at 9 o'clock in the morning, the game's not till 7 p.m. But they just live and breathe.
Yeah.
Because these guys, like I said, like such a hard-working town. Like Dortmund and Gelsenkirchen are like the two of the most hard-working towns in Germany. They come from nothing,
Yeah.
but what do they look forward to on a weekend?
The
Running
game.
football.
Yeah.
With their friends, with their family,
100%.
getting drunk, whatever. But they live it. And we didn't do that well in the league that year, but they were there every week, man.
Yeah.
65,000 people.
They're still there.
100%.
Still there
Remember
now.
that third division Dusseldorf,
Dusseldorf, yeah.
that yellow team, packed out,
The
40,000.
same too.
Yeah.
Third division.
Yeah.
Man, you'll see it in 4th division with some clubs.
Yeah.
Like we were in 5th division at the time with under 23s. We got promoted in that year, which was massive. So we ended up going to the Regionalliga, which was the 4th division. And there were teams or players in the 3rd and 4th division who were good enough to go and play in 1st division or 2nd division.
Wow.
But their clubs were offering them the stupidest money
to keep them.
and chill lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
like me at Spartans now.
Yeah.
Okay, train twice a week, play on a Friday night, you get weekend off. All
Yeah.
right, cool,
Wow.
calm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Why
And
would
this
you
is
wanna-
like, put this into perspective? This is like in terms of just not quality, but in terms of this is like MPL3
Yeah.
equivalent.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
And these guys are getting packed out stadiums.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're
100%.
making crazy money.
Yeah.
And
Well,
MPL3 here is
Turkish
like,
league is the same. There's a team that used to play in the Turkish league. I remember it was my first Turkish team I went to go watch a game. It was Anadoluspor against Bursaspor. And Bursaspor used to be a top team. They used to play in the Champions League. They used to be a big team in the Turkish football. And now they're in the 4th or 3rd division. But stacked stadium, 20
Yeah.
to 35,000 people
Wow.
come in to watch the game.
The love of the game, especially in Europe, we've said it before, and I've spoken to Jordan before. It's a different breed of football there compared to
Yeah.
here. Here, you can't even start yelling because security will come towards you and go,
Yeah.
"Why are you yelling?" Like there, you start swearing. It's like it's just
Yeah, like what I said. Yeah. They wouldn't even let you in. Like they like because I've been to a Besiktas game and they didn't let my wife take her house keys because they thought we were going to chuck it on the field.
that's how crazy it is.
It's funny you say that because on the like massive games, so obviously the Champions League game when we played against like Bayern Munich, like I was very fortunate. Like when I was over there, us players, man, we got to sit in the box.
Yeah.
We got to sit in like the
Line
corporate
front,
boxes,
yeah.
man. Like food coming out of your ass, like
Yeah.
absolutely best service,
Crazy.
best view
Seats
of the
in house,
game. And it's just like, but then going into the stadium, okay, you still all have to go in the same way. I mean, if you don't get there like at a decent time, you're actually waiting for like 2 hours getting like searched.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Security checks. are
Security
crazy.
checks, man. Like it's funny you say that because my
true.
wife, when she was there, like she just had a little purse and like going through everything.
Yeah. That's why.
Opening her lip gloss, like, what's gonna be in lip gloss, man? Like, are you serious?
Flare could be a flare.
Oh my god.
No, it
That
is
could be a
true.
mini flare, bro. You never know.
Oh,
She could just
man.
pull it out and stuff.
Yeah. A magic thing.
I want to mention one thing. I want to mention that Stuttgart game. Mario Gomez.
Yep.
What went
My
what
best
went
friend.
wrong there?
Oh man. So I think a lot of people don't realize, but in Germany, like it's like I said, like talk about very statistical and all that.
Mm.
But we spoke about how individualized like the gym programs are and stuff like that. But it's like they do everything. They give you every tool, every resource. So when on when you're there on match day, like you have nothing to say.
Exactly.
You have no excuse. Everything. So we'll go in the change room. There's a big whiteboard.
Mm.
They have obviously like the starting lineup, all that. They put pictures of all their starting lineup and they put 3 strengths, 3 weaknesses of every player.
Wow.
So then you got Alexander's fine. They put his top speed. They put this, they put that. It was good dribbling. But then they said, but just not dumb, but like no
IQ.
football brain.
Yeah. No IQ.
So for me, they're like, because we played in the back 3 and I played on the left side. So I was essentially between Mario Gomez and Esfan, I was sharing them.
Yeah.
Don't forget on the right side, who was right back? Benjamin Pavard.
Oh, Pavard.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I was playing against some unbelievable players. Bud Stuber.
Was Farfan still there or no?
No,
Who?
I think Farfan was on at Schalke.
Yeah, he wasn't playing back then. No.
He was a gun player as well.
Yeah, I know.
But for example, Esfan, it's like, don't go too tight
Oh, yeah.
and don't leave too much room.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, you got to find the happy medium, right?
Yeah.
Touch tight,
Yeah.
but if you're too close, he's just going to spin you or roll you and run in behind because of his pace, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think there's actually a clip where we got into a little foot race and I ended up winning the ball because I won it early. I didn't let us get into a full foot chase where he probably would have beaten me for pace. So I saw my opportunity to win the ball and I won it. But yeah, obviously marking Mario Gomez, like this guy is like played the highest of highs in world football. And
is he taller than you?
oh, mate. That guy.
Because I tried because I watched the tackle from behind. I saw you try to tackle him, and I'm just like, what's the height difference like with him?
That's what I'm saying. Like we look at each other now.
All right. So there's only 2 moments in my career where I've been intimidated by someone's stature. The first was Mario Gomez, and the second was Marcus Rashford. Right? Mario Gomez, it's like he was Superman. Right? Like you go there, you're looking up to him, and his chest is like out here.
Yeah.
His arm, his leg, everything. He was a monster, man. He was a monster. Not like overweight. No, just
Super
built,
Mario.
man.
Yeah,
Like
Super Mario.
he was built, man. And I'm like, I wasn't scared of like getting into battle with him, but I was like, man, like
He's a giant.
he was a giant. He was a proper giant. I'm like, if I'm gonna like, I was tall, but I was like, if you put us 2 together at that time, like I was a rake compared to him,
Oh, wow.
right?
Wow.
And like you try to give him like a little shove, no, he didn't move. It's like I'm the wind. Like nothing was like
He's just
touching
bothering
me. Anyway, I tried to like throw my body around and stuff first 5 minutes because as a centre back you want to impose yourself, right? So you want to let the striker know you're there. Like I teach the young kids that now. Even you know,
You push and shove.
You
you push and shove. You pull a shirt. You give a cheeky elbow. Maybe they'll go to the other centre back.
Yeah.
When they go to the other centre back, they're gonna get the same treatment.
Yeah, Mario's just like, who the hell is this?
Yeah,
guy?
Mario's just gonna be like, anyway. So there were a few like half changes where I've won the ball off him or got him tight. He's played the ball back, whatever. Like building into the game. Like I said, first 5 minutes. Anyway, ball comes over the top, and it's so hard to mark strikers like that because because of their sheer size. If you try and get in front of them, he'll just use his arm and spin me.
Yeah.
If I'm too far away and I arrive late, he'll just spin me or he'll bounce and he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Because he's big doesn't mean he's slow.
Yeah.
He was coming to the end of his career. He was slower than what he was doing. But man, he's still a professional footballer. He's still playing Bundesliga.
100%.
So I haven't got too tight on him, but I was quite close. Anyway, he's holding me off and he's kind of retreating and going backwards. And he's like looked around at me while the ball's like here at his feet.
Yeah.
And he's lifted his leg and he's gone, stepped on me. Stepped on my toe. Obviously, kept playing like, you know, fucking this massive giant just stepped on my toe. Anyway, I think we went to ground together and the ball went out or something, whatever. As I've gone to get up, I'm like, my foot was killing me. I was like, what the what's just happened? And
Was
he-
it like a burning sensation?
Bro, I
Yeah,
don't know what it
probably.
was. It was like stabbing, like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like my foot was on fire.
When you get started, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and he's obviously wearing metal studs,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
as you
wow.
do.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he said to me in German, and he goes like, "Viel Spaß,"
Mm.
which means like have fun, like have fun with that.
Oh, wow.
So-
Wow.
so-
Wake up.
So he knows what he's done.
Yeah.
done
I
it
don't
on
think
purpose.
he's done it on purpose.
Yeah.
He's looked, he's gone back. He knows before the game they've chucked in a young boy at centre back,
Yeah.
just get in his face, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know,
Who?
he wasn't like disrespectful to me, like saying who the fuck are you or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
he
but
just
he-
wanted to kill you off
he just
early,
wanted to, like,
intimidate you.
he
Intimidate
just
you.
wanted to get in my head, like as any
Yeah.
good striker would
Wow.
do. Any good strikers will tell you
Welcome
that.
to the Bundesliga.
Basically,
Pretty
he
much.
essentially said that. Like
Yeah.
he's like, you know, have fun
Welcome
with
to
that
the big
welcome.
leagues, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like full on stepping. I'm like,
How was your reaction when he said good luck with her?
man, I just was like, why? I just blanked.
He probably thanks.
Dankeschön.
I was like, thanks. Can I have your shirt? No, anyway.
Yeah, broken toe, give a fuck, bro.
But I'm just thinking like, oh, he's just stepped on my toe, nothing of it. Like, let's
Yeah.
play on, whatever. I'll have fun. Kept playing, whatever. Throughout the first half, like you guys know, adrenaline, like you keep playing.
Yeah, 100%.
I could feel it every step, and it was on my right foot.
Ugh.
So it was my standing leg, not my kick leg, thank God.
Yeah.
But every step I take, every whatever tackle, every step is just
Pain.
crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finish the half, go in at half time. I take my boot off, and the physio's like, everything all good. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm just like, did you see Mario Gomez? He just
Mario
stepped
stepped on me.
Super Mario just stepped. Nah. But I was like I just got started really badly. Like my foot is throbbing, like it's killing me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you'll be right. Like, you know, just here. And he just gave me like basically like 2 Panadols. Hey, thanks, boss.
Wipe some
Chuck
dirt
it
on
down.
it.
And then I've gone to put my boot back on,
Mm.
and it was like
So
it was
tight.
like putting a knife back on
Yeah.
something. Going out for second half. Like, that was even worse because I've cooled down.
Yeah.
I've gone back out, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking like you have these thoughts going like, just tell the coach like, I can't play anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I can't move.
Yeah. But you don't
And
want to
I'm
miss
like,
that as well.
This is my fucking Bundesliga debut.
Exactly.
I'm not going off. I said, if I'm going off, like you're gonna have to like
Break
I'm
my-
gonna have to be
Stretcher.
dead.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to be like very badly injured.
Yeah.
So go on second half. I don't know how. Adrenaline's obviously kicked through. Second win.
Yeah.
I've played even better second half. It was like that was the wake up call. Not wake up call. I played very good first half, even after what happened.
Yeah.
But second half, I just turned it up like a gear. Anyway, one of my actually good mates now, Jamie Pasewski, he was in Germany at the time at
Mm.
Dusseldorf. He was at the game watching me. And I've gone over to him at half time. He's like, man, you're playing so good. Like, he was obviously J'd up hype
Yeah.
for me. And I was like, did you see what Super Mario did? Like,
This mother.
I said, yeah, my foot's killing me. He's like, bro, you're playing Bundesliga. Like, you're on TV right now. Like, talking
Yeah,
to
exactly.
me. Like, just keep fucking playing. And I was like, yeah, all right. Go on, play second half. 0-0 draw. Got one of the highest ratings of the match.
Mm.
Like, not man of the match, but I had one of
Yeah.
the highest ratings. Played really well. Obviously, over the moon. Last match day. Season's done. We secured, like, obviously, Bundesliga for next year. Go in the change room again. This time, take my boot off, take my sock off.
Oh,
Forget it.
the nail's gone.
Was it blue? Was it green?
It
Was it
was
purple?
black.
Was it black?
It was black.
And then the doctor basically goes, oh, that looks really bad. I think your toe's broken. I tried to tell you that at half time. And I said, do you have anything stronger than those 2 Panadols you gave me?
There's some
And
endo.
he basically goes like,
Harden
you're
the
gonna,
fuck up.
you're gonna have to check that out, like
Yeah.
whatever. 3 days later, I'm partying in Marbella with Dun23's boys in a moon boot on crutches.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it got
God.
confirmed. Like
That's crazy.
I broke the toe.
Yeah.
Season was done.
Mm.
But I guess it was a bittersweet ending because like I just played Bundesliga. I was trying to walk to the car. It took me like 45 minutes to walk like
my
1
God.
kilometer to my car. And yeah, I was obviously the elation of playing in that match. And I guess the culmination of all my hard work from Canberra all the way through.
And then you didn't go back, or you didn't get a call back? Or?
So it was a tricky period at the time because the guy who believed in me and gave me my debut,
Karim,
he was so he not Karim, so the coach, Hoop
Oh,
Stevens,
okay.
so the coach of the first team.
Yeah.
He was like finishing his career as a coach, and he was going on the board at Schalke. And his agent actually rung me at the end of the season, was like, "Hey, I want to represent you." Like, because basically from that moment that I made my debut, Schalke offered me a professional contract.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Man, this kid, like, he's the real deal. Like, give him a contract, 3-year deal, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
They were going through a transition where a lot of people were leaving, a lot of people were coming, new manager, new board, blah blah blah, all this. And David Wagner, he was coming in as the new coach, and he obviously is like fresh start. Like, he's like, who the fuck is this kangaroo? Like, basically, like, who cares about, you know, George? Like, yeah, he played one game, big deal, basically.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting, and he essentially said to me, like, yeah, you played all right, like, you played good, but like, you start fresh in preseason, like, you're probably going to end up going on loan. And I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I was like, man, I've just proven myself.
Yeah.
And
You have to do it again.
I felt a bit, not disrespected, but like, man, I just worked
Your
crazy for a year. I got my debut. Like, from there, you expect, like, to play again, to play again, to play again.
How old were you at the time, Josh?
19, 20.
Wow.
Still
20.
very young.
I was
very
20 turning 21. Yeah, so I was young. I was still a baby, but like, I mean, in terms of like European football as a centre back,
That's
like,
the
it's
age you
it's a
wanna be at
decent
when you
age to
start,
like, man, you want to start getting like 25,
Yeah.
50 games under your belt. Like, if I played a full season the next year, like, we're talking like, wow, like, you know, this guy's the next
Exactly.
top property. So I was like, man, I have to go back to preseason, start
Fresh.
below, like, down in the pecking order again,
Yeah.
go through all what I'd just been through the year before. And I was like, man, that sounds not exhausting, but I was like,
Do I want to do this again?
do I want to do this at Schalke again, or do I want to look at my options?
Yeah.
Because I was like, because they were starting to say, like, okay, you're just going to play in the reserves again. I just proved I was one of the best players in the reserves. Like, it was a piss take, if I'm honest. Like, we finished the league, 10 games to go. Like, we smashed it out of the park, right?
Wow.
And I was like, do I really want to do that again? And I had options, obviously, sign the professional contract, go on loan. In hindsight, it probably still would have been the best move to sign the professional deal at Schalke and go on loan. Because no matter if I went back for a preseason for a week or two, they would have just gone, oh, look, this club in the Dutch First Division want to sign you on loan,
100%.
which was happening a lot because they had a lot of strong connections in the Dutch First
100%.
Division, Second Division, whatever.
There was a lot of teams.
Even like a lot of boys that I played with, they were going like Bundesliga 2, Bundesliga 3. Still fucking great level, man.
Yeah.
Like, people
100%.
don't realize like B2 and B3 they are very hard leagues, and it's probably what a player like myself needed at the time. But I had the wrong people advising me, and I ended up choosing a deal which didn't work out in the end. But at the time, it was like naivety. Like I said, listen to the wrong people. Ended up signing a deal in Belgium. Probably it was more financial than it was footballing wise. But they sold me again on the project. They had just played Europa League the year before. The coach was calling me in the off season, like, you know, like hyping me up and all this stuff, and like about the project and the facilities and all this stuff. They had just spent 25 million on new facilities, like fingerprint scanner to get in the build. Like, it was mental. Like, it was like Liverpool's training center. Like, it was.
What was the Belgian team called?
Zulte Waregem.
Zulte Waregem, yeah.
So I went there, and it was just so downhill. I think I saw, okay, that's not a big league, but I saw what politics can really do in a lower, I guess, division. Right? So it's like you have the head coach and the head scout working together in conjunction. If you don't sign with the agent, you don't play.
Wow.
So you have the agent bringing 10 players in that off season.
Wow.
And what happens in Europe? Agents get sign-on fees.
Yeah.
What's the agent doing with 10 players?
Yeah.
Splitting it with the coach.
Wow.
And I said no to this agent. You know what happened? That training session, after I said no, who was training on the side? Me.
Wow.
For 6 months.
It's like you get blacklisted.
For 6 months.
It's like I'm not going to mention any names. George knows. It's like a certain academy where if you don't sign up for the academy, you don't play in SAP.
I don't know which one.
No names.
Yeah.
No names. If you don't sign up for their academy, you don't play. or you're not a
Yeah.
part of the club.
And I couldn't believe that was happening in like Belgium First Division. Like,
Yeah.
got some big clubs there, like
Yeah,
Champions
Anderlecht
League,
as
Europa
well.
League,
Yeah.
Anderlecht,
Yeah,
Club
Genk.
Brugge, like
Who was the other one? There was Antwerp as well. Was it
Antwerp,
Antwerp?
yeah.
They were just recently Antwerp. Yeah.
massive clubs, massive
Yeah.
clubs. Obviously, the bigger clubs, it's not as prevalent,
Mm.
but there was a lot behind the scenes going on in that league that they separated themselves apart from the rest of Europe. Like you had to play
Yeah.
7 out of the 11 starting
Wow.
players from Belgium.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stuff
Oh,
like that.
it's
So
the-
foreigners was like
Yeah.
round the pond. Like obviously, okay, it's technically still foreigner. Like, but I had
Yeah.
my Greek
It's,
passport.
yeah,
so
it's
I'm a
go-
European.
homegrown players. England was like that back in the days. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot like that, and like even on the bench, I'm like, man, why am I on the bench this week? Even like you got to have 3 out of 5
Mm.
youth players. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, wow, like it was very very different. But yeah, it was the wrong move for me, but at the same time, like God's plan, like
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
everything happens for a reason.
I think I could say that out of all the players that I've seen in NPL so far, you've probably had the most exposure
Yeah, I can agree on that as well.
because you had that Bundesliga exposure. All right, you had that one debut, but you were playing consistent
Yeah,
youth league. Youth league, if I'm telling you now, if your youth league team played one season in the A League, it would have been a different level.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
100%.
100%.
But
The A League teams wouldn't be able to compete with that.
But like I say it too, like people go, oh, you know, like you see like Liverpool and all these guys and like the highest, like the biggest professionals, like, oh, how many games they're playing a year? You know, 60 games or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like even championship is ridiculous.
Yeah,
now.
they have a
It's
lot.
like,
Way too.
so my first year in Germany, in 9 months, I played 44 games.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
44, and I missed a month from injury.
Wow.
Wow.
So I would have
That's
played
almost
close to
5 games a
50
month.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
And we
crazy.
weren't even playing in the cup.
Mm. Wow.
So imagine,
So
like-
not in the Pokal.
hey,
Wasn't the Pokal Cup?
No. like I was with the reserves, right?
Yeah.
That's with the reserves.
Yeah. Far
Wow.
out.
Okay, you include a few like first team games here and there and whatever. Like I played against Zenit St. Petersburg. I played against
Yeah.
Sevilla.
Wow.
You know, those
Oh,
were my
yeah.
first 2 friendlies. Like
Who was in the Sevilla team? Jesus Navas?
Jesus Navas.
There's a lot of
What was
players
his
back then.
name? Oh, Ben Yedder.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
Ben Yedder, the rat leader.
Wow.
There was another. There was Munir. Do you remember the
Munir,
prodigy from Barcelona?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
You need to, yeah.
Sevilla was a different breed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. That was a cool
Yeah.
experience.
You
So it
opened
was
Sevilla.
like the charity match for Antonio Puerta, the guy
Puerta,
that
yeah.
Puerta, yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
But it was actually it's so crazy. So at that game, like my idol Sergio Ramos, he was at the game. Dani
Yeah.
Alves was at the game. They were
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Wow.
just spectators at the game. And it's like
'Cause they
I
played
didn't
for
know
the
at the
club,
time.
yeah.
They obviously
Yeah.
played for the club. They played
Yeah.
with Antonio Puerta. And it was just crazy. Like it was like a massive, I guess, partnership that they did every year between those two. So that was cool as well. And obviously, like Zenit was because they had Gazprom, the oil sponsor
Gazprom,
and
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like they were the massive sponsor. So they did that every year. But like even to go to like Russia was like a different experience. Like
Yeah.
in the freezing cold in a
Cold.
World Cup
Yeah.
stadium. Like we talk about big pitches. Like man,
Yeah.
that was massive. I remember playing against like Leandro Paredes. Like he was there.
Wow.
Was
Um,
Hulk then over there?
I don't
No, I
know.
don't
Yeah,
think he
he
was
left.
there. No.
Oh, yeah.
But there was still a lot of like man, very very good players. What was his name? Marquisio was there.
Nakisio.
Marquisio was there.
Wow.
So yeah, played against some.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
With some of the FIFA icons in here.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, literally. Oh yeah.
All right. Before we wrap it up, I think we want to ask you your favorite players you've played with, the funniest, and I think you're gonna do I think we want you to do your best starting 11.
That I
That
played
everyone that
with.
you've played with, and against
you
or
put-
against
You
Or
put-
against.
you put,
Morgan striker.
you put me on the spot.
He's right there.
or against because you've played against guns
Yeah.
like
Mm.
machines.
Yeah. Or against, I think the easiest ones to start with, like the boys I played against, Manchester United, so like Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes,
Wow.
Yeah.
even to be honest, like I think people look at like, okay, I played in Europe, blah blah blah, but like I played in the A League against some really good players too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was playing like, I played many years ago, like even like the A League All Stars, like when I was with the young Socceroos, I was playing against like Del Piero and
Yeah. Wow.
Berisha and these guys.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like that's obviously like, they're up there on that list too.
I was going to ask you before we move on to the starting 11, what was the difference between the transition, like Adelaide and Melbourne, like the style, the culture of both clubs? Because you played with both. Like
Adelaide is very chill,
I was gonna say quiet. I was
Yeah.
about to
very
say it,
quiet. I loved it.
underrated clubs.
Man,
though.
I can't speak highly enough of Adelaide. Like I love my time there. My family loved our time there. But they're not a big club. Melbourne Victory have the big club name to it.
Biggest memberships there as well.
Well, the reason why I ended up moving was, so I played 2 fantastic years at Adelaide. Didn't play complete full seasons, but I played majority of both seasons, right? And I ended up, funnily enough, having an offer from a Russian, club to go over. And they were asking, like Adelaide were asking for a stupid amount, like for a kid that's just played 30 games or whatever. But I think I wanted to get the move to Victory or a bigger club because it would make my hopes of going back overseas a lot easier. So if you go to a big club like Melbourne Victory, but look what happened. Played the first 10 games at Melbourne Victory, straight away, Korean club came in with an offer.
Wow.
So it was like, I literally didn't even play half a season.
Wow.
Played against Manchester United, played all preseason, played, 10 league games, bang, offer, free deal, life-changing money.
Wow.
So
How was the United experience?
man, that's different gravy.
I know you played in Bundesliga. I know you played in Bundesliga, but playing with United, like
Premier League side,
Who was,
Premier
who
League
was the
side.
coach at the time?
At Victory,
no,
At
at
United?
United.
Ten Hag.
I know.
Oh,
This is fresh.
It was his first ever game.
Wow.
Wow.
First
Yeah.
ever game. And we scored in like 8 minutes. We absolutely bopped them. I don't know if you guys remember the goal
You
that we
blocked
scored.
McTominay's shot. You blocked Fernandez's shot. I think it was.
Man, I was
You wrapped up Delow.
man, I
in
was,
that-
yeah,
when
I
he
was,
was- Delow was
cracking
running
that
through.
game. I was playing so good. But I think it was just like, I think like Tony Popovich obviously brought me in, like took me under his wing, molded me into the centre back that I guess he saw that I could be, and worked on me a lot in preseason. Even though like the Manchester United game was early in preseason, like for those 3 weeks, man, like I was a machine. Like, I was training with him, doing an hour of extras with Popper, like by himself after training.
Wow.
Popper's
Like,
a good coach.
and because he knew that like I could go on to that stage
Yeah.
at Manchester United and not put on a show, but like show something,
Yeah.
So like I'm marking Martial,
Yeah.
Fred, McTominay, Diego Dallo,
Yeah.
Sancho, Rashford,
Yeah.
Donny van de Beek,
Wow.
Yeah.
all
Ah,
these
Donny,
like
man,
all these ballers, like
Mm.
guys you see every day on the
TV.
higher stage
Yeah.
on TV.
Did you swap shirts with anyone?
Yeah, Sancho.
Oh wow.
Wow.
But that goes back because like Sancho and I knew each other from Germany, and
Oh,
also
right.
our time in like my time in Belgium.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
ended up in Belgium. I played with a guy called Cameron Humphreys, centre back, and he was
Oh
with
yeah. I know
he
who
was
it is.
with Sanch at the City like
Wow.
youth academy,
Mm.
and yeah, we ended up playing Fortnite together. So
Wow.
I've played Fortnite.
I
with
forgot
Sancho.
to ask you. Gomez broke your foot. Did you end up swapping shirts with him?
No.
That was the missing.
You should have said
puzzle.
had fun.
That was the missing
Honestly,
piece.
That game was not a blur, but I was just like, I wanted to soak in all the emotion. I wasn't thinking about swapping shirts, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Like
It was just your
he
debut.
got he got subbed off like quite like kept in my pocket.
You should have said.
The broken foot wasn't even broken, bro. It was a distraction.
Oh,
you had fun
man.
on the bench.
That's good. No, but it's funny because we were talking about like, at halftime I went to see Jamie, and then after the game I'm going to see him again. Like he's like absolutely buzzing. Like he's like
Yeah.
going off his head. Like, man, you just played like 0-0. Like, great.
Kept a clean
Great game,
sheet.
blah, blah. Anyway, this Greek guy, just rocks up, comes to Jamie and goes, "Hey, can I have your shirt?" Jamie looks at the guy, he just played his first Bundesliga. And you think he's giving you a shirt? You're fucking crazy. Like,
No
get
way.
lost,
You
man.
were, what number were you?
44.
Well, you still got the
I got
4.
his
innit?
favorite number twice.
He's got, yeah.
Yeah.
That was on purpose. He was 4.
Benedict Hövedes. Remember him?
I remember Batch Stuber back then. I know.
Hövedes.
Hervede. Oh, Hervede.
Tall
Yeah,
German.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, now I know who he is. Yeah, it's HOW, isn't it?
HOW.
Yeah,
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 he
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And so
you
he
can't
was
take the 4
finishing
off him.
his
Career
career.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I didn't want to be like, hey man, can I have number
Can
four?
I have number 4? Man? I got 2 of
Who
them.
are
I'll
you?
give you. That's
Minus
crazy,
one,
man.
you get the other one.
But
You plus
honestly,
one.
it's funny because like 4 is my lucky number.
Mm.
During the preseason games, friendly games with the first team, whatever, I never had a set number.
Mm.
On my Bundesliga debut, I didn't even know until I rocked up and I saw 44. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
crazy how like, and even now, like I'm paid like Spartans now, like I have 44. Like it's,
That's
you know,
crazy.
if I don't have 4, it's 44. Like that's my,
We're going to go down and watch it.
8-4.
Blacktown Sports Park, yeah?
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
bad. That's good.
but yeah.
Down the road.
Back to what you said before, the funniest guy I've probably ever, 2 guys actually when I was at Schalke. Actually, no, I'll say 3. So when I was at Schalke, we had Weston McKennie
Oh, yeah.
and I
Yeah.
had Rabbi Matondo.
Oh, wow.
Those
Wow.
2 guys together, absolute clowns. Like they're just
And Western
they-
McKennie,
they-
he's
American.
funny.
They
He's-
are 2 of the funniest guys ever. But then when I went to Belgium, there was another guy, a winger, he's a Georgian guy. His name's Luca Zarandia. Man, that guy, every time he speaks, I'm pissing myself laughing. Like he just was that guy who can just like literally make
He's
me
not even
say
trying.
any-
He's not trying to
He's
be
not
funny.
trying. Like if he tries, he probably wouldn't be funny. But it's
Yeah.
just like he's the
Comes out naturally.
funniest guy. I miss that guy.
Starting 11. This one's an important one. You've got a lot of options.
Goalkeeper.
Think wisely.
Goalkeeper.
Oh, wait, no, we'll start off with a formation. I think that's the
Yeah.
most
Am I
important.
doing with or against?
Both.
Both? No, you're mixing both in, bro. We're
Yeah.
doing something
But don't,
different.
don't
Two
put the whole
separate?
United like
No.
No.
We're doing who you've played against in your starting. Who would you want in your starting?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
Who was a goalkeeper back then at
Surely
Schalke
De Gea.
anyway? Was it
We-
Farman or no?
Fairman, yeah. So
Yeah.
we had Fairman, but to be honest, like on my debut and because I trained a lot with him, Alexander Nubel.
Newball. Oh, yeah.
He was a gun.
He went to
man.
Bayern.
He was, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll put him in goals.
Yeah.
He was an absolute weapon.
This is over De Gea. De
Huh?
Gea would have been at United still with Ten Hag.
Yeah, maybe he could put the whole United lineup out.
Yeah.
But then, have you seen them lately?
In the game that I played against, I think Tom Heaton,
Tom Heaton, yeah.
he was in goals.
Ah, okay.
Ah,
I can technically say I played,
Fair enough.
but if we're going full technical, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'd say Nubel.
Yep.
Right back.
Well, depends on your formation. You can
Yeah,
play free.
I'm-
Wait, so right back he's going to go for 4-4-2.
You know what? Yeah, I'm
formation
going
do you
for
wanna
No, you know what? I'm going 4-3-3.
Alright.
Safest
Can I
option.
say 2 names?
Go for it.
Right back.
And keep
okay,
one
so
on the
I'm going-
bench.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go
That lot.
Javi Lopez, Adelaide
Lopez.
United, and then right back Jesus Navas,
Jesus Navas.
centre back
Put yourself in there.
Naldo,
Oh, yeah. He played for Schalke.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. Far out, man. I haven't heard those names in so many years.
left centre back.
George.
Hey, you guys remember Michael Jakobsen?
Yeah.
Jakobsen, yeah.
Wow.
Left centre back.
Wow,
That's a
man.
name.
Incredible player. Doesn't get the credit.
Respect, yeah.
Yeah, he baller, man. Left back. I'm gonna go another A-League one.
Hmm.
Michael Zulo.
Zulo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zulo.
Fair. That's fair.
Trying to give a good mix.
The DM.
That's why I've given the opportunity of players against as well.
Yeah.
Because the options are there.
Yeah.
Because he can easily chuck in the whole United squad.
Yeah,
That's what I said, yeah.
I
I was
could,
like, yeah.
but I could just say the whole Stuttgart lineup or
Yeah.
CDM. I'll say Paredes.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Played against.
The centre mid, he's played with Marquisio.
Literally.
Name.
Literally.
I'm gonna say, I'll say 8 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
2 boys from Schalke.
Yep.
Nabil Bentaleb.
Yep.
Amin
Wow.
Harit.
Okay.
That
I never
guy.
meant to live.
Oh my god.
Different level,
Amin
eh?
Harit is one of the best players I've ever played with.
Moroccan, isn't he? Yeah.
Absolute animal, man.
I've seen his highlights. Yeah.
He's magic. He's magic. And then Sancho.
Shout out to all the United
You know
fans
what?
that hate on him.
You know what? I'll put Sancho on one wing. I'll put Rashford on the
Rashford,
other
yeah.
wing, and I'll put
Fair.
Mario up.
Mario
Super
fine,
Mario
yeah.
up top.
Wow.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Coach? Coach?
Coach.
Coach.
Tony Popovic.
No, I'll say the coach I gave me my debut, Hoop Stevens.
Hoop Stevens.
Mm.
3 subs. Give him 3 subs.
We could do 3 subs.
3 subs.
No, honourable mentions.
Oh,
Honourable mentions.
One favorite
Honourable
position.
mentions.
An attacker, a midfielder, and a
Nah.
All right, defender Benjamin Pavard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Midfielder.
Bruno?
Marcus, yeah.
Fernandes?
One up an inch.
There's too many, man. Like it's
That's why I put him in the spot.
it's too many.
He's a United fan, by the way.
Did
So
you have
don't-
to,
so
did
don't
you have to
pick-
mention
alright.
that?
So
Did you have to mention that, bro?
Don't make him feel any happier.
Trying to forget the
He's
Europa
already
League
depressed.
match.
You guys remember Milos Dimitrovic?
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Dimitrovic, midfield. And up top.
He's being too generous, bro.
Top.
Some great A-League strikers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of A-League too, but like
You played with Tommy Urich?
Yeah.
In Melbourne.
there you go.
Tommy Urich it is.
Shout
I
out Tommy
played
Urich.
with him
He
in
was a good player. man.
Adelaide too. Yeah.
was a
oh
very
man,
good player.
top player, top professional.
That dribble against Korea in the final,
Yeah.
and they scored.
Tommy's like big brother to me as well.
Still
like,
playing?
Yeah. He's an example of like professionalism, man.
Mm.
I loved him at the Wanderers.
Man.
Like he was a good player, man.
But
Very
even
good
him
player.
at Adelaide, like when I was there, like again, like took me under his wing, like went for coffee, like went out for sushi all the time. Like, just showed me like, you know, how to conduct yourself and blah blah blah. And he was always there, like in case I needed something, like
Mm.
whatever, because he knew we were living away from family and stuff. So he was top, man. He's a good guy.
Beautiful. All right, we're gonna wrap up the show, but before we do,
Mhm.
we're gonna do our traditional quiz off.
All right, guys, welcome back. And now we're going to do the total face-off.
Yep.
So,
So
reigning champion as of 2-3 weeks ago, Val thinks he's gonna
3 weeks in a row,
defeat George,
Future champion.
future champion.
and then if you win, you have to come back so you can verse me.
Hey, look, I will remind you guys. We called
Game one.
George called last week, and he couldn't answer the question.
Yeah, but that was,
Or was that 2
really-
weeks ago?
This guy
2
put
weeks
me
ago.
on the spot. He just ring
You
me
gave the
out.
same answer.
You're
I
probably
gave.
driving and going 1950. You're like, what?
Oh, what was it? It was the
Nottingham
Who won the
Forest.
first UEFA Cup in
Was it? No, who was the first English team,
Cup?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who won the
Yeah,
European
yeah.
Cup?
Who? What was the answer?
I said
It
Leeds.
was it Norwich, wasn't it?
It was,
Norwich.
yeah, it was
Was
No,
it
Norwich?
It was
No,
Norwich or something.
Norwich. It was
No way.
relegated then, wasn't it?
Was it?
I don't fuck. I can't remember.
I said Leeds and Villa.
Was it Leeds? I said Nottingham Forest, and then you said the
I
same
said
thing.
Nottingham.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Bolton Wanderers or something, but I was
Yeah.
like,
Or
that sounds
Blackburn.
like- That sounds
Or Blackburn,
that
yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
stupid. Eh?
But, oh, well.
But then Norwich sounds stupid too. So.
All right, guys, let's get into it.
Alrighty.
Question. Oh, wait, before the questions,
Yeah,
let's see the
sorry.
buzzers.
All
right.
Let's go.
Question
So,
1.
Yeah, so round 1, question 1. It's all random questions, okay, but obviously football based. Question 1. Who is the only player to have scored in the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, and League One? I didn't write them, yeah? I didn't write them.
Ah.
I did not write these questions.
You know what? You
Say
know,
it again.
up until you said Bundesliga,
But this is my first time reading it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know.
wow, how many times
You-
did this guy score?
I would have said Zlatan personally. But
Straight
he didn't
out,
play,
yeah.
but he didn't
Wow.
play in the Bundesliga. That's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah. If you didn't
Yeah.
say Bundesliga, I would have said Zlatan.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the top 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, top 5 leagues.
He's
Premier
played. He's played.
Premier League, Serie A, La
Do you know
Liga.
the answer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, I
I
can see
So
the
you're
answer.
looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it a current player?
I don't know if he's actually playing anymore.
Can you say the
I
leagues?
can
What's
tell.
his name?
I can tell you. I can tell you.
What's the leagues again?
So Premier League,
Premier
Serie A,
All
La
the top
Liga,
six.
Bundesliga, and League One. I could tell you.
So this guy would have been on loan. Like
I actually could tell you which teams he played for, but then that would
This
give
will
it away.
give it away. Just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I reckon. No,
Hold
I
on,
give
hold
two
on.
teams. I reckon.
I'll give you two teams. I'll give you teams. I don't know if you know him. All right. So he played for, I'll say Premier League and League One. Okay, teams. Technically, will give it away. He played for Manchester City, and he played for AS Monaco. Because I know I used to use this guy in FIFA. Nah, yeah. You want his position?
Yeah.
He's a striker.
Well, of course, he's got.
He doesn't play anymore.
I don't think he does. I haven't heard his name in a long time.
You can take a guess.
And he scored. No, he scored in those leagues. He's the only player to score in those leagues.
I was gonna say Aguero, but I can't
No,
remember.
No.
he doesn't play.
Never played.
Nah.
I was gonna
I don't know.
say
Have a guess.
This is
I can say his I can say his country, but his country will give it away. Well, not give it away. I don't know
Wait,
if you
wait.
know your
Is
ball
he
knowledge. for
Spanish?
this. No,
Drop the country. I think he dropped the
Montenegro.
Jovic.
Yes, Stefan Jovic. I didn't know he's actually scored in every league,
Fuck
bro.
has he been? He went to Olympiacos as well.
He's
He
like,
went-
fuck.
sorry, he went to Mykonos.
that's a lot of leagues, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What a club slut.
Football stuff.
Wage fee.
Literally.
All right, question 2. Who is the only footballer to win the Champions League with 2 different clubs in back-to-back seasons? Ooh. 1993 and 1994.
Cuz
Yeah.
we weren't even
I'm not
born,
writing this
bro.
shit, mate. Not
We weren't
me.
even born.
Blame
bro.
the producer.
Oh, Laurent Blanc.
No.
He's French. I know that.
Yeah, he is.
It's not Deschamps. No way.
No.
He wouldn't have been playing
No,
back then. He's the World Cup, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the
He's
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
He's the World Cup manager. Yeah.
So
I can
Val's
tell you
had
why
his
he's.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Val's had his guess. You have to give your guess before you give a hint.
Yeah. Give a
Did you
guess.
say 93, 94?
Yeah.
Can't be Zidane.
No. I'm saying no. Like, fuck.
No.
Give us a clue.
Okay, so I can tell you the teams that he win it with.
Would you have got these if you didn't know the answer?
No, I don't think it would have
no.
gone.
The striker one, if you give me the hint of City and then
Yeah.
like that, yeah, I would have got it.
Oh, that's a good one.
This
That's a good
one-
question.
Like when he said the name afterwards, like he said Blanc, then I would have went for the next player in my head. He did play for Chelsea.
He was captain for France.
Yeah,
He's-
that's not a name.
No, it's what's his name?
think hard.
The,
I'm not gonna give until you give that name.
He's there.
I know
he's-
he's there.
he's the.
He's there.
I don't want to say skin color, but he's
Marv.
he's Mavro. Like
He's Marv. Like I say, he's
I
Indian
don't
in
know
Turkish.
football, eh?
Give
Give us another hint.
No, I know who he is.
He knows.
I know.
He knows who
it's
it
on
is.
his tongue.
He has that. He has that
can't
weird
say
laugh.
it.
He goes, that one. I know who
Yeah,
he
that
is.
one.
I don't know his name.
Still don't know.
No. It starts
I'll-
with
I'll-
D. I think it starts with D.
I'll give
It
you a
does
story.
sound
I'll give you a story.
the
They were talking about Ronaldo Nazario, and he sat there showing the boys. He's like, and he moves. He's like, foo, 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 foo. And
yeah,
go
no,
on.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
I can picture him right now. Played for Chelsea.
He played for Chelsea. He won it. Look, he won with Marseille and AC Milan.
The
It's there. Isn't it? Everyone knows. We all
I'm just
know.
gonna get the camera and put on his face and go.
it starts with D.
It's not Demabar or something.
No. He's a striker. No,
The,
But this person's a striker?
no, he's a centre back.
It's centre back.
The core.
No, Decor. Powered by Decor.
No, I don't know.
Marseille and
I know-
AC Milan.
No, I know who he is, but I forgot his name.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's the.
If I say his first name, you probably get his after.
No.
Yeah.
Nah,
I like
don't
this
think I
guy.
will. I don't
Short,
think I will.
okay, one more hint.
One more hint.
He's a center defensive mid.
Yeah,
Well, he's a centre back
I
and a
know who he is. I
CDM.
know
No,
who
he's a
it is.
centre back and he's a CDM. He played
know
in
who
both
it is.
positions. He did play for Chelsea.
You said 93, 94.
93, 94, he won with Marseille in 93, and then he won with AC Milan in 94. He's a centre back. He's a World Cup winner.
No, Got an afro.
French.
He is
an
French.
icon.
He's
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
an
I know
icon.
who
He
he
is
is. but I
icon.
forgot his name. Yeah, okay.
Marcel Desailly.
Yeah, that's how you. Yeah. Let's see, I said duh. But it wasn't coming out, bro.
But look,
Would have been here all night.
all right, hey, producer, I'm gonna kill you with these questions. I feel bad now.
Is the next one shit, dude?
Hey, I don't even want to read them out for you guys anymore.
Just go.
All right,
Might
who,
surprise you.
who missed the crucial penalty for Italy
Ooh.
Hey, in the 1994 World Cup?
Baggio.
Baggio,
Roberto
yeah.
Baggio.
2-1.
Wait, why? She had to pick. This is times when these questions should be for me. All right. Which England player was controversially sent off versus Argentina in the 1998 World Cup? Now, I know this because I watched. Actually, nothing mind.
England player.
England player.
David Beckham.
Yeah, that's true.
And then England.
I was going
hated
to
him
say,
after.
if you watch this Netflix
and then
series,
the
yeah,
whole country hated him.
hated him for
years,
that, bro.
until he
And then he scored
that
against
free
Greece.
kick yeah.
All right.
What did he do?
I think
He
it's
killed
slide
some-
tackle.
he
I
killed
think he just
someone,
slide
Yeah, he
tackle.
got a red card.
Very bad slide.
Very
tackle.
fair slide tackle. Yeah.
Like it was
Cost.
like-
He cost.
he was
Pretty much
asking
cost
for
them
the
the
card.
game.
Apparently, it cost
Yeah.
them the game.
He was,
Yeah.
he was asking
Why
for
did
the
they
card.
score from it or something?
No,
Yeah.
it's just you know
Oh,
how England
because
fans
they
are,
dropped
bro.
to
They
10,
just,
yeah.
Final question for the round: which national team has had a 36-game unbeaten run that ended in 2021, breaking the all-time record?
International.
A
Very
36,
easy question.
yeah,
That's a
36-game
very easy
unbeaten
question.
run.
Easy.
Yeah,
International.
Ended in what?
2021.
They were undefeated for I think 2 years. or
Yeah.
3 years. It was
Argentina.
No, incorrect.
Germany.
Brazil.
No, incorrect.
Italy.
You got
Yeah,
it.
Italy.
Really?
Yeah,
It was such
Italy.
a big thing. It
That
was,
was
everyone
Italy,
was
bro.
talking about it. They were
Wow.
on like this crazy streak after like
Come on, I got
being
one.
one of
Let's
the
go.
worst.
That's it. That's
Alright,
it.
come back, King.
Come back, King. Yeah, let's go.
They-
Tottenham.
they-
Tottenham.
they had a big fall, like a
Yeah.
massive fall. They were going through like shits, and then just
Wow.
out of
They're
nowhere,
winning
bang,
everything, yeah.
win, draw, win,
36.
win.
All right.
That's the longest ever.
Yeah, it's all-time record.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised no one said Spain, considering they dominated.
No,
for
to
a
be
couple
fair,
of years.
Argentina's not a bad shout.
Argentina was a good shout
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But Argentina's was, I think, it's been a bit more recent.
Yeah,
form.
recent, yeah.
And
they're
Spain was doing very well around that time,
Mm.
but
Mm.
Italy was killing it. They had this young squad.
No.
Okay, so
Question 6.
Fine.
question. Well, this is round
Question
two.
1 and round 2.
So I won the World Cup. So these are
It's a
riddles
riddle.
by mind. I won the World Cup without scoring a goal. At club level, my headers took their toll. In Turin, I made my name, but for country, I bought internal fame. Who am I? If you see how we do these questions, man, far out. I get curveballed.
I have a feeling.
This is an Ali question.
No, this is not an Ali question, to be honest.
Is this a player who played a full game without
What do you mean?
touching a ball?
No. What the fuck are you saying, bro?
Yes.
What did you say,
Yeah.
Turin?
Yeah, Turin,
The
yeah.
USA?
I won the
Maybe
World Cup
Torino.
without scoring a goal.
Without scoring a goal.
Mm,
You won a World Cup without scoring a goal.
mm. My headers took their toll. I bought, and then he goes, but for country, I bought eternal fame.
It's not the player I was thinking of.
This is stupid. Grosso?
No. You want a hint?
Yeah.
He's Italian. I can tell you the World Cup
My
they won it in
headers took it.
Yeah. Go.
2006.
Headers took it.
I know. I think I know who it is.
He is a
Did you say he's a striker?
no. I
Oh.
didn't say
He's
that.
He's not a striker.
2006 World Cup.
I was going to say Luca Toni.
No.
Give us your guess. TikTok. Italian 2006.
TikTok gunshot.
Materazzi.
Incorrect. He's a centre back.
Materazzi's a centre back.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like he's a centre back.
Oh,
2006 World
Cannavaro?
Cup.
oh,
Yeah, Cannavaro.
George is on the board.
We're already on the board. That's the
He's on
second
the board.
point.
wow.
Oh, well. Okay. This one's actually more recent. Okay, let's go. No goals in open play. Yeah, I led the charts. My pens were ice cold. I broke some hearts.
Ronaldo.
From Chelsea to Juve, my boots did roam, but I was deadliest from 12 yards home. Who am I?
Chelsea to Juve.
Mm.
That's not Penaldo. It's not Pessi.
My pens were ice cold.
Chelsea to Juve.
Mm.
You
Not
know, say that again. Say that
No.
again.
Lukaku wasn't that.
one?
Juve
Nah, he
was.
wasn't it.
He was at Inter.
Like it's so like it's so blatant. Obvious. I'm like I straight away knew who this was.
Chelsea to Juve.
Yeah,
What the fuck went from Chelsea to Juve?
think. No goals in open play. Yeah, I led the charts. My pens were ice cold. I broke some hearts from Chelsea to Juve. My boots did did roam, but I was deadliest from 12 yards home. Who am I? He was Euros 2020 Golden Ball contender, and I can't add the rest after that.
Oh no.
Just say it. You're gonna be wrong.
Might be right, mate.
Jorginho.
Jorginho.
Wow.
Yeah, pens,
I thought you
boys.
were gonna say Cole Palmer.
Mm,
You know what- you know what-
yeah, ice cold.
You know who I was gonna say?
yeah, he went to
Chiesa.
Juve.
He went to Juve.
Yeah, yeah.
That's bad.
He played at
I was
Juve.
gonna say Chiesa, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know.
I thought it was Cole Palmer.
What the fuck do you think it was Cole Palmer?
Cole Palmer.
No. If he said Chelsea to
Pens.
Juve, mate, the only player I knew was Jorginho from
Yeah,
Pens.
I didn't know.
I didn't know he even played for Juve.
Yeah,
Did he play?
yeah, he played for Juve.
What a
Yeah.
guess. I was gonna say Chiesa.
Oh, this one's a good one. I don't know this. Oh, this no, I would know this if I added the rest of it. In blue, I danced. I wouldn't even say blue, but in white, I thrived. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I nutmeg legends and still survived. A Rabona cross, a curling strike. My skills lit up a London night. Who am I?
Rabona Cross.
Mm-hmm. A curling strike. My skills lit up a London night.
Lampard.
No.
I don't think
When
I've
the
seen
fuck did Lampard ever do a
Rabona.
Rabona?
I've done more
I don't
Rabonas than
know.
Lampard.
This guy is known for his Rabonas. I could give you the more of the
I don't know.
bracket.
I don't know.
I could tell you, like, I'll say the rest of this, like, as in the bracket part of it.
Rabona.
Known for Rabonas, especially for Tottenham versus Arsenal in the North London Derby.
Come on.
Lamella.
Yeah.
Shout out Lamela. He plays for Ajax Athens now. Fucking hell, Lamela. Wow.
Nah.
Lamela makes sense.
Lamela,
now,
yeah, Tottenham.
Makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense.
That's why I was confused when it said new in blue. I danced, but then
Yeah,
he did
yeah,
play
yeah.
for thing. Which team? He played
Tottenham's
in
blue
La
and
Liga.
white.
Yeah, but
Who
he
did he
played
play
in La Liga. He played in La Liga for someone. Who did he play for?
Play for.
Was it Sevilla? No, it wasn't Sevilla.
Yeah, he played for
He
Sevilla.
played. He
Yeah, he
played for Sevilla,
yeah.
but that was recently.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, penultimate question, guys.
Final one.
Second last. That's what penultimate means. My boots were gold. My goals were few, but I made a name in sky blue. An Olympic winner, South American pride. I left a trail through goals rarely applied. Who am I?
What the?
That's actually very
That's
easy.
a Studer.
No, incorrect. My boots were gold. My goals were few, but
Goals
I'm
were what?
few. My goals were few. FEW. But I made a name in sky blue. Like, think of that clearly. An Olympic winner, South American pride. I left the trail through goals rarely applied. Who am I? He has an immense work rate. Not always a top goal scorer,
Still plays?
but no, he doesn't play. But very influential. Influential.
Oh, I've already answered.
Gold
traitor.
boots at. He's a traitor. Facts. He's a traitor. You could say.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
it's
gotta
your guess,
answer.
it's
You
your
gotta
guess.
answer.
No,
It's your guess.
He
Just-
plays
just a
for.
guess.
I'm assuming he's already got it because he would know this.
Yeah.
But he did play for Manchester City.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
South American,
Come on.
sky blue.
Trader.
didn't I say it before?
No.
No.
So it's not that one you think it is.
It's the other one. It's
It's
the
the
other
other
one.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
We're trying to help Georgie. Carlos Tevez.
Yeah, correct.
What a
correct. Fucking traitor. When he said that, I was like, I was like straight away knew, yeah.
That's
Alright.
what United players think.
Oh, this is a
But then
funny
when you
one.
say goals few, like
Hmm?
he scored a lot of goals, didn't he?
I don't know. He just says it here. Blame the producer. Alright, this one doesn't make any
He's got a lot of
sense.
good goals, but Carlos Tevez wasn't like a crazy goal scorer.
Mm. He was work, but his work
He was
rate
work,
was,
yeah,
it was a
He
workhorse.
dog, yeah.
Now this one doesn't make any sense
dog.
because look, this might put you off, I don't know why it says it here, but we'll see what happens. They called me the pocket rocket. My pace was lightning. My shots were on target. From France to Liverpool, which makes no sense. Okay.
Oh yeah.
My story's told. Actually, you know what? You can say it.
Jordan Shaqiri.
No, incorrect. My story's told. A World Cup winner, brave and bold. Now, just to help you, George, Liverpool, I've got no clue why that's in there.
4-0.
No. He didn't play. I don't know if he played. Yeah, but from France to forget about Liverpool, I could say
England.
to Spain.
No, I don't know.
My story's told. I'm a World Cup winner, brave and bold. Who am I?
I hate this guy.
Really?
Yeah,
I love this guy.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him because World Cup winner. I hate him because he dived.
He dived.
He dived.
No, he's French.
Why are you
From
telling me
France. Yeah, he's from France. The thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
from
doesn't matter. It could be a curveball.
Yeah.
Maybe-
This is a video curveball. It says Liverpool in it. I'm
Yeah.
still confused why it says Liverpool in
I
it.
know what
Because
it
he
is.
played there.
Mbappe.
No.
No.
No?
No. Mbappe, no, this guy.
I
this
can
guy
literally say the
dived.
team. I can say from France to
No.
like that, but I can say it so easy.
They both wear blue.
But yeah, not really, but yeah.
They do. I just wrong.
I don't know. I'll give
They
up.
called me the
He's
pocket
left-footed.
rocket.
He's left-footed.
He's left-footed. He is a striker. He's short. He's not Ben Yedder.
Left-footed.
Don't say it. He's got to get it.
I'm not gonna get it.
He played for Atletico Madrid.
Greasy.
Yeah, Antonio Griezmann.
I hate him.
Wow.
I will never forget that free kick that
Why
they
you said
scored from
Liverpool?
in the World Cup against Croatia was a dive.
Yeah. Wow.
He dived like it was the biggest dive.
Really?
Yeah. It was the go watch the replay, guys. He dived.
Wow.
Wow.
I hate him. That was robbed.
Well, what was the score? I think
I've
it
got no
was-
clue.
We'll
We're
check-
gonna
we'll
ask.
check- we'll check it on the
I think
video.
it was
but,
5-3.
that pretty much ends the show.
Yeah,
It's been a very good show.
yeah.
George, thank you so much for your time, bro.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Big shout out to George as well.
5-4.
What we want to do is give a follow to GT Football as well. You're doing some wonders with the little kids as well, improving.
Yeah.
Quality of
Their
Australian
skills.
football.
And hopefully
That
one
we
day we
need
can.
quality in Australia, so I'm glad that we've got.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll come
player
down
like
and
yourself.
record a session with you guys, showing how everything is.
Put Val on
We
trial.
no,
for the
we
academy.
do. We do. He's gonna step on my foot and go. In Greek, he's gonna go. Good luck with that.
Have fun.
Have fun with that. Nah, look, follow GT Football as well. Georgie's doing wonders with the little kids. We'll actually probably go down and do a bit of a doco.
Yeah.
Just to see what it's all about to be running an academy, because it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy running an academy. But yeah, Georgie, thank you so much for your time, bro. Like, follow, subscribe.
Look at the camera. You gotta learn this.
Like, follow, subscribe. Neja usually does it, but yeah, like, follow, subscribe, guys. We're gonna put Georgie's socials as well in the description.
Yep.
And yeah, until next time. See you later.
Peace.